This is why you need to hear this. If you're a soldier caught behind enemy lines, bullets whizzing past, the ground shaking from distant explosions, and every second could be your last. In moments like these, what you carry decides whether you endure or disappear. That is not theory. It is not marketing. It is history. In war, survival is not determined by the size of your pack or the sophistication of your equipment. It is determined by what stays with you when chaos strips everything else away. World War II proved this brutally, repeatedly, and across every environment on Earth. What emerged across every theatre of war was something modern survival culture, well, kind of misunderstands. The pocket core was never a kit. It was a system defined by immediate access, independent function, and resistance to cascading failure. A tool had to be reachable instantly, usable in darkness, and operable with numb fingers. It could not rely on another tool to function. If one item failed, the others had to continue working without compromise. This is where, modern integrated tools break from historical reality. Integration looks efficient until it fails. Hinges jam, springs snap. One failure disables every function. WWII designers learned this lesson early and paid for it in blood. So they simplified. Corners were rounded, tips were thickened, moving parts were eliminated. Designs were stripped down again and again until only what could survive dirt, shock, cold, and exhaustion remained. The most misunderstood item in the pocket core was, well, the blade. Popular culture tends to treat knives as weapons or symbols, but for soldiers they were working edges. Knives cut rope, opened rations, trimmed bandages, shaped wood, scraped equipment, and pried open stubborn objects. In emergencies, they dug shallow cover when nothing else was available. These blades were sharpened often, dulled often, and honestly abused daily. They were dropped, soaked, frozen, and struck against hard surfaces. Original World War II blades show thick spines, rounded tips, and worn edges. Those were not design flaws. They were proof of tools shaped by sustained use, not showroom aesthetics. A blade that survives abuse, outlives one designed for elegance. The least glamorous tool in the pocket core was often the most indispensable. The screwdriver lacked drama, but it solved problems constantly. Weapons needed adjustment, crates needed opening, vehicles needed coaxing, wire needed twisting free under pressure. The screwdriver was never really about screws. It was about torque, leverage, and steel strength. It could be struck, leaned on, and twisted with an entire arm when fingers failed. Modern bit drivers promise versatility, but they depend on clean conditions and steady hands. WWII proved that most failures are mechanical, and mechanical problems are solved with leverage, not features. Separation created resilience. A blade did blade work. A screwdriver handled torque. Each stood alone. Beneath all of this is the truth modern preparedness culture avoids. Tools did not make soldiers resourceful, skills did. Many men came from farming, mechanics, carpentry and hard labour. They understood leverage, grain, tension and failure long before combat tested them. A knife was never just one function. A screwdriver was never just a screwdriver. Scarcity forced competence. Failure taught lessons quickly and without mercy. This is not nostalgia, it is subtraction. A robust working knife, a separate solid screwdriver. If expanded, real pliers that can be gripped with gloves. No fragile gimmicks. No features designed to impress rather than endure. But tools alone mean nothing without familiarity. Use them. Abuse them. Repair instead of replace. Practice when conditions are imperfect. At its core, the pocket core is psychological. Preparedness is not about owning more. It is about needing less. It is about clarity when complexity collapses. Audit your pockets and your thinking. Would this tool still work after a week in mud? Would you trust it with shaking hands? Does it perform under stress, or does it just look clever? World War II rewarded restraint, judgment and mastery. That lesson has not aged. If this guide gave you value, subscribe to Warcraft Survival. Share it with someone who takes real preparedness seriously and help keep these hard-earned lessons alive. Stay updated for more videos every week.